Good afternoon, traders. It is March 6, 2019, and I'm Joseph Pate, trading with Arbitrage Bands and associated tools today. We have some new faces joining who are either new to the market or new to arbitrage, and that's perfectly fine. Everybody here is at all different levels, whether you've been trading for years or for days. We're all doing the same thing. We're trying to invest. We're trying to make money. So we can do the things we want to do with those options. Money gives us options, whether you're playing options or not. So what I've got up here now, everybody, is the Arbitrage homepage, arbitragetrade.com. It is a website that we use to give us the tools that we apply into TradingView. We're going to go deep into this. I know it may look like just crazy to you at first, but I'm actually going to really break this down and clean it up and take it from the baseline. What's happened with trading is I started out with Fidelity primarily, like $9, $10 a trade, and I traded off hope. I traded off news, stock twits information, seeking alpha, you name it. I was joined into all the feeds and groups and news, and so I'm just following the masses. I also traded things I knew about as far as technology stocks. When Xbox One was coming out, and I had Microsoft, I was like, well, Xbox One's going to be awesome. I'm a gamer. Let's hope this goes up, and it did. So I used my knowledge of what I knew would sell or make a company big based on what I knew and my friends and just the industry I knew. I didn't know anything about healthcare or other sectors. So, and it worked out well, but, in stock market, they always tell you to buy low and sell high. Well, no one ever tells you what the low is and what the high is. So you're just following this wave. I was even using things like this. I'm looking at Google stocks and Fidelity. And I just look at the price and I say, well, it went to this, or their 52-week high was this. Maybe they'll make $5 again. Maybe they'll make $7.50. I was just hoping. And I was really investing in the fundamentals of a company, which there's nothing wrong with, but the technicals and seeing the math behind it is where it's really at. I need a little something firmer to check my work, if you will. And that's where Arbitrage stepped in. I've been with Arbitrage and trading using their tools for actually about a year and a half now, and I'm really, really enjoying it. The tools that are coming out with this are expanding so rapidly. It's like a kid in a candy store. You have so many things. You can, on the homepage, view by sector. You can see how the sectors, whether it's energy, whether it's healthcare, technology, you can see if it's bullish and right now, if it's short-term, long-term. And the market is starting to recover, which is nice because we did have a big drop a few days ago on across the board, seeing a lot of red. But you can see in the long term, some of these are still bearish. And this is the whole sector. It's averaging out the sector based on the formulas that we've got in place. So this is really nice to be able to just search right there. You can even, once you find the sector you like, we have a lot of analytics, too many to go into in one day, but you can do sector filters. Oh, we've got some more people joining. We'll give them a second. Toby, I don't know if you can hear me yet. You're just getting joined in. But what we've done is we're talking about arbitrage in general and how to apply it. We're going to look at a lot of stocks today and pick some numbers and talk about what we're seeing with those. Hopefully pick some good picks. Yesterday, our team got into BPTH, Biopath Holdings, at 470. So been over a 200% profit today. Most of us are very out so far, and I'll tell you why we got out. Made some money. But let me go back. There we go, fully in. You can search by the sector. You view sectors. You find one you like. Maybe only one of these is bullish, but maybe you like technology. You like energy. A lot of us like healthcare because you get those FDA approvals and there's a big spike, or they don't get FDA approvals and there's a big drop, so there's a lot of volatility there. But you can even go into a sector and do a search on that sector by a big view. I could type in tech. Maybe I'm just looking for technology stocks. Maybe I'm looking for a stock, maybe I know the symbol, but this is called the danger zone. We're going to get into it. I just want to see if any, let's check all sectors right now. That this is a new feature. So currently, These are not in the lower danger zone on the, it's a huge band, huge chart. So I'm going to jump back over. And let's take a look at some stocks real quick here. I'm going to explain because the things I talk about are going to make a lot more sense when we're looking at it. We'll start with ZKIN. ZKIN has been fluctuating. It's at $1.39 right now. Clean these up. What I really like about ZKIN is it's setting up on the 1 hour chart. Okay. And what does setting up mean? What do all these bands mean? Let's start at the basics. This is the arbitrage band. It's been applied over normal candles. The normal candles are just green and red. Green is up, red is down for that time frame on the candle. Every candle is an hour at the chart we're looking at now. Well, when you're a new trader, this doesn't really mean anything to you. There's books, there's math on how to draw lines. I started that when I first started. It's, you know, getting out a protractor and a ruler and figuring it out, and did I think I saw this or did I just connect things I wanted? It's just confusing, and I just didn't like it. So I like things like this that give me green and red, go and stop, just like a stoplight. Green means go. We've got a green flag, a green up arrow. Red means get out. Just without even reading this, so to speak, and knowing what all this means, you can see here, green arrow, green flag. The stock was 142, 149. It went up to 169. We started seeing red around 150. So even if you only made 7 cents profit on this stock from there to there and you waited for this, there's a lot more into it we're going to get into, but 7 cents on $1.42, still not too shabby in the course of, that's 11 a.m., 10 a.m. on the 4th of March and the 6th. So in 2 days, 7 cents. And this is just a quick example. There's some that are much more profitable. Now, Jack, if you have any questions, Toby, anybody, definitely throw them out, anything you want. We can talk about any stocks, but what I want to show you is this band has a black line. This black line we call the RSI line, the arbitrage RSI. It bounces along inside of this band, inside of this tunnel, and it can't leave. Mathematically, it has to stay inside. So if it gets too close, we'll go back a bit. It just stays inside, as you can see, going back and back and back. If it gets it into these danger zones, the upper danger zone is differently colored, and the bottom lower danger zone is differently colored. It's a little darker. It has a more likely chance to drop than it does to grow because there isn't much room for it to grow. Mathematically, it has to live here, so it's going to make room somehow. So as you can see, it just bounces around. We're going to reset our charts. Now, how do we know which way it's going? Well, this blue line that you see moving around in here is called the compass. It is the North Star of the stock. It is telling us which way the stock is pointing and where it's trying to go. The red line is momentum, how fast the stock is falling or rising. So if the blue line is below the red, it has got a downward momentum. Its North Star is pointing down right now. If the blue line is above red, it is going up. It's an upward momentum. Now, what we really want is this black RSI line. We want the blue to be above it because that's a good thing. Blue above red and black. We've got black as now support. Right now, it's resistance. So why would we get into this stock? What's so interesting about it? Well, these bands actually live inside of bigger bands mathematically. So I'm going to kind of show you how that looks. You'll see an orange line in the middle. It's called the mean. This line is right in the middle. Well, when you go up a band to its big brother, it is the bouncing line of that band. You'll see an orange line, and it is moving around. It's bouncing. And the blue line is the next mean. We're just going to go up from band to band just to kind of show you how this lives. And when you first start with this, you don't have to look at all these bands. There's actually, give you a little taste, a lot of other indicators that let us know green, red, green, red. So the idea is you have all these different tools, and you're looking at them. And, sorry about that. Furious, one of our other members tried to present for a second. Must have been a misclick. So, Toby, hopefully this is not too much for you right off the bat. I don't know what your trading experience is. but feel free to chat in there. I can talk about anything you want, but once this makes sense, it is going to blow you away with how it works. So let me show you the next band, because we'll move a little quicker once you understand how these bounce. This black line is bouncing around inside of this band. So it's pretty stable, pretty lateral. Oh, sorry about that. Thank you, Furious. Toby, Furious, can you all see the screen right now? Perfect. All right. So taking a look here, and Toby, if you would, send just a chat, say hi or yes. I just want to make sure you can see the screen as well. All right. Let me know when you can. But what I want to show you is this purple line, which we call the pulse, is living in the lower danger zone, the bottom of its band. So it has to, it's more than likely going to go up and down because it is running out of room. It's not fully out of room. The floor looks to be about $1.41. It's $1.45 for the pulse. Okay. Well, that means it has some room to drop, and that's okay, but it has more room to grow, and we like that. We like a stock that all of the other bands are living down here at the bottom. Let's see if that's happening. I'm going to turn them all on at once, which can look very confusing. And they are all stuck together. Let me show you a little bit cleaner view. I like to set up my views this way. This doesn't have all of the deviations in math, so it's a little cleaner, quicker to see things. So we're back on the ZKIN on the hour chart. We are going to turn on all the bands, and look at that. You don't see yellows and blues all spread out along this map. They're actually all stuck down here at the bottom. I can even zoom out and show you what it looks like. Do you see these bands? They were all spread out, and they're gravitating towards the bottom, falling, 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 and now we'll reset. They are all trapped down here at the bottom. Now, when things are at the bottom, mathematically, there's only one way to go, which is up. And when this breaks through, it is going to, from what we've seen, it breaks through and tries to hit the mean of its band. The mean is 233. Now, I don't know about you, but $1.40 stock going up to $2.33 is nice. Now, this isn't fully set up yet, but it's such a good profit margin. I've already taken a small entrance myself. I'm not going full in. So whether you're trading $500, $10,000, it doesn't matter. You still have strategies that you deploy. You're not usually putting all of your eggs in one basket. We don't recommend that. You want to diversify your portfolio into different types of stocks, different sectors, and just spreading that out so no one stock makes or breaks your portfolio. Obviously, your risk factor is up to you, but I personally am putting a small amount, about 25%, I'll call it a quarter portion of what I want to put in this now. When it sets up even better and it's all coiled, and we'll talk about what that looks like, I will put more into it. But I definitely don't want to miss out, but I'm not ready to put my full amount that I'm willing to put into this stock yet. But the ratios are so nice. This is setting up. Now you wonder, what is this time frame? Well, we're looking at the 1 hour chart, and we're looking at what's called the apocalypse band. That's why this is so big, and it has these big red lines and this purple pulse line. It's huge. So we actually have a chart that makes it easy to read. What is the timeline, depending on what you're looking at? Oh. We've got a new member joining in. And we're looking at the hour chart, and we're looking at the apocalypse. So that's actually 3 to 6 months. It can happen quicker. We've seen it happen within a few days. But you could see this happening in the next 3 to 6 months, this stock going up from $1.40 to $2.33, which, I mean, adding an extra $1 to $1.40 stock, I'm happy with those margins, to be honest with you. BB, if you could see the screen, just let me know. You can type it in the chat there. And to give you a quick overview, BB, we're looking at a stock currently. You can ask for any stock that you want to look into. This is currently ZKIN, and we're looking for it in the next 3 to 6 months or sooner to bounce up to 233. It's not fully set up the way we want for pure magic, but it's about 90% there. And the margins to make almost a full dollar on this stock, I've already entered in about a 25% position of what I want to enter in. I'm going to wait a little longer to get more, but I do not want to miss out on a potential dollar jump. We will go back. I actually kind of broke down how to read these. You can watch the videos. I'm going to put them on YouTube later. I'll send the link at the later this evening. I'll put it on our chat. I'll put it on YouTube. There should be already in the YouTube channel, but we'll get all that at the end of the chat. Yesterday, I'm going to pull up BBTH because this is some real money that happened from yesterday's view for the people that were watching. Let's go down to the 1 minute chart. Very fast, lots of candles. I'm going to clean this up, make it easy to read. Okay. So yesterday, March 5th, let's go back. Actually, March 5th, I've got it written down here. 11:24 today is when the big spike happened. So we've got 11:24. That's when this stock hit 422. It even went to 460 a minute, 1460 a minute ago. Well, we were talking about this stock, and I recommended it yesterday for those of you that were fortunate enough to be on this free podcast or broadcast. And we were talking about buying it at $4.70, 69 cents, and our team got into it. That is a massive, close to 200% profit. What we saw on March 5th was this. March 6th, here we go. We were talking about this. This is 118. We started looking at the stock. I actually told my team earlier in the day, and we had another time to get in right here. There we go. Throughout the day, green means go. Red means get out. So this stock and our charts told us, here's a green up arrow, get in at $4.53. And then it said get out at $4.75. Get back in at $4.66. And then, wow, here's the first time we got kind of get out red bubbles. We'll go deeper into this. We have a lot of training on our website, videos, lessons. They break down every one of our tools even more in detail. I'm kind of doing fast and dirty because I want everybody to make money. I want to go through some good picks, answer some questions. But the more you learn about our system and how to read these, it's just beautiful. But we do try to make it as easy as possible because there is such a learning curve in the stock markets. It's a sink or swim. And most of the time people aren't there to really help. It only helps if they help themselves. Well, we want everybody to make money because you go on vacation, you want people to go with you. At least I do. So red, get out. You could have gotten out here, 710. That's still a massive 460, 470, up to 710. I think about a 55% profit, something like that. It's 60. That's beautiful. Well, you could have gotten out there and waited and gotten back in at 703. That's still some money. Then you could have gotten out at 732, back in at 726, and then ridden. You could have been a little scared, gotten out at 840. Still profit. But there's no down arrow yet. No down arrow, boom. 1304. Can you imagine a system where you're using news, you're using stock twits, you're using all of your teams to talk about and try to find information, but to look at a chart and say, green up arrow, red down arrow, green up arrow. I can't imagine how I traded without this. I traded for about 6 years before I had this, and I just look back and I go, how? How did I not lose all of my money, and how was I know why I was so stressed. Because you're just watching, Google Charts or Fidelity. I was going to FinViz and look at top gainers, and I'm like, well, this can't drop anymore. It's not possible. Well, maybe it is. NCTY, they dropped down. Let me pull them up for you. NCTY was, I think it was over $6 a few days ago. Founded on FinViz. So here's NCTY. We'll go back 5 days. Just a quick way to look at it on Google's charts. Okay, it says 345. They were higher, but let's just say it was 345. Yeah, it's strange. I don't think they did any splits, but 345 down to 191. Well, we were looking at this stock, and we go back to yesterday. $2, even higher. 232. Here's 3. We'll go back. There we go. Here is at 380. Well, some people made some money on this fall because they were at 256. They had a little recovery up to 382. That's beautiful. But see the same thing? You could have had this chart up. This could be a stock that some friend told you about, or that our group told you about, or FinViz told you about. Wow. Right here on the home page. For those of you not using it, they show you the top losers, gainers, just some more information. You can get the employee count on the company if you click in there. There's a lot of really good stuff. Well, let's say that's where you got your pick from. I could have gotten in at the green arrow at 252, out at the red arrow at 328, back in at 259, back out at 261. Okay, I only made 2 cents, not a big deal. But you could have gotten back in here at 256, back out at 255. I know that seems very fluctuating, but it's the stock market. You don't want to mess up or lose anything, and then boom, you follow the rules. It's out, it's out. Get in, get out, get in. Here it is, 227, back to 234. So these arrows are not the only way that we trade. It's just very easy to read them. Well, let me show you what else we have. So we'll go right here to where there was that big drop, and I'll zoom out. These are some other indicators. I didn't want to overload anybody right now, but we have tons of fun tools. And so when I see a stock, let's go back right here. These lines, these solid lines, are a level, if you will. They're if you're above it, you're above level. You're pointing up. If you're down, you're pointing down. Your stock's going to go down. So right here where we had this red arrow, let's see that line that's moving along with my cursor. Well, you'll notice down here for the RSI at the very bottom, it just dropped under. It's being sold more rapidly than being bought. So boom, maybe a reason to get out. The level's dancing with the line. It took a little bit longer, and then it started going down. Another reason to get out. This is a tool called the forecast. It's beautiful. Its only goal is to make you the most money, the best time to get in and the best time to get out for maximums. And it went down. And this is also called the loop. The loop is, I'll zoom in on it. It tells us, you can look at volume over here on the side depending on what tools you're using to purchase. But volume for the day, let's go to this one, 824,000 right now. Well, are more people buying or more people selling? Like what's kind of the compass of the stock? Which way is the wind blowing? Well, right here, more people were selling heavily. Boom, boom, boom. These histograms pulling it down. Well, why would I stay in a stock that gives me a red arrow that dancing with the line? I could have waited till here, but boom, red, underneath, way underneath. It's all of these beautiful tools, and these are just some of the ones I use. We have so many, as you can see. These are all different tools. These are all customizable. I could switch this. Let me show you this beautiful. It's called the breaker. And I know this may seem a little overwhelming, but what it is it's just tools. It's how you use them. But if you don't have the right tools, if you don't have a screwdriver and you need it, yeah, you can find something around your house and make something work. But it's not going to be as easy. It's going to be a lot more effort. And the thing is, we all have things to do. We have lives, we have families, we have Netflix. We have things we want to do with our lives, and we don't want to live reading charts constantly. So it's nice when you see tools. Look at this: green above the line, green, green, green. This is our first little bad. This is a live view of this NCTY. We've got another person joining in. The compass, as those of you who were here earlier, is the North Star of the stock. The blue line is the compass. So if it is below the red line, which we call the momentum, it is starting a negative momentum. What we'll notice is this will come and meet this black line, which is the RSI. The RSI is bouncing along inside of its band. It cannot leave its band. So knowing that, it is getting pretty close to the top. Now the band is making some room, so we don't want to overread it. Look at that. It kind of evened out. But it is something to watch because it has more likely chance. It has a better chance, to drop than it does to go up. So knowing that, I am very interested to see, is this going to touch and be a little support and bounce off? It doesn't have that much room to grow. It's more than likely going to bust through and go down to 183 or even 179. So if this was a longer term play, this is how I could look to see, is this the best time to buy or a good time to sell? If it does bust through, we'll get our down arrow. We'll get our trend. We may even get what's called a fuchsia purple candle. Those are really bad. Those mean get out. Get out of Dodge. So when I look at any stock, I look at all these different indicators together. I think about selling a boat, sailing a boat. You're trying to go somewhere. You're trying to go to a tropical island. You're trying to get there. Well, you have all these different scientific instruments and tools. If 8 of them say you're going in the right direction and 1 says no, okay, I'm probably going to follow the 8 tools. It's just a numbers game, green, 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 green. Well, if 8 of them tell me the wind has changed, even if I really want it and I believe this stock is going to keep going up, yeah, I'm going to follow science. I'm going to follow math and stop hoping and start just playing the game. I'm going to take my profit, whether it's 6% or 40%. I'm not going to try for the 200%. I'm just going to keep flipping these stocks. Anybody who wants to throw out there what kind of trader you are, it lets me help focus the show on the style. There's investment traders. They want to invest in Microsoft and Apple, bigger companies, less fluctuation, less volatility. They also pay dividends, which is great. A lot of our team is we're swing traders. Some of us are day traders, but a lot of us like to get a stock and flip it in a few days. 2-3 days is great. 2 or 3 weeks. And that's what we like, because we like to get in, get out, not have to constantly watch it, but also make money quickly. For those of you not aware, we have we use Slack chat. We have all of these different channels and rooms. You can subscribe once you're signed up with us to every different sector. I'm currently in biotech and energy. I'm going to add healthcare as well. But it filters out and searches constantly with bots and applies our filters for you without you even having to read these. And it says, oh, look at this stock, IRSB. No idea what this is, never heard of it, but it's currently 3 mathematical deviations up, which means it has less than a 1% chance to sit there, so it is a selling opportunity. This one is also a selling opportunity. It tells you their current price value. Let's take a look at that. IRSB on the 15-minute chart. Now, this was at 11 this morning. So maybe we go to a little sooner, but I like knowing something's 4 cents because it's probably about to get delisted or it's going to make me a lot of money. So let's just take a quick look. Let me see if I typed that right. IRSB. Okay, great. We're going to let that load. Loads pretty quickly. When it's a new stock, it took, 10 seconds. I'll go to the 15-minute chart, which is what our alert told us about, our robots. And let's see, at 11:24, this one's a little strange. I see February 12th. This one may be so low and such a penny stock that they don't. It's an OTC market. That may be what's causing this. I know a lot of this. We do definitely work with some OTC stocks. RGSC, great company in my opinion. Solar company. They decided to go OTC to protect us, the traders, and not do a reverse split. Thank God for that. And we're just waiting for their financials. They have a report in the next 2 weeks. But I'm really excited about the one in 3 months for the next quarterly earnings after this one. I believe that if you look into the background of the company, we could talk about it later, talk about it in our room. But this is the company I am most interested in the fundamentals. A 40-cent stock that I believe will by far be over $1 by the end of this year, if not many dollars, which is what I'm excited about. So, but to speak to the point, we do run the charts on OTC markets. I think that one that I just looked at was a strange one. I'll actually look at that after hours and see what's going on. Maybe they're not reporting as clearly as the NASDAQ stocks and the New York Stock Exchange. But I do want to go through some picks for everybody. Might as well have some money to be made. If you were in the show last Friday, we picked IMGN at $2.52. IMGN is at $2.68 now. It even jumped up to $2.93 today for almost a 20% gain, making 43 cents. So that's pretty nice. But what we're really playing on this stock is the 5-minute chart. I'm going to pull up and show you what this looks like. We're looking at the 5-minute chart, and we see that this black line, RSI, is in the lower danger zone. It is basically out of room. The compass blue line is above the red, so it's got an upward momentum, and it's about to test this RSI line. And it will test, and it may bounce down and pull it down a little further, but it doesn't have much room. So what we're going to see is if it does break through, it's going to at least kind of try to go towards the mean, which is back to 275. We see it usually, the candles go up to 280 so that the RSI can meet the mean. Okay, great. So 5 cents, 6 cents profit. Well, what does that really mean for us? Well, we're not just looking at this band. I'm going to pull up the biggest band, the Apocalypse. It takes a little longer to get there in real trading days, but wow. For those of you that know the system, know that this is a beautiful sign. The pulse, which is its bouncing line, has to live inside of here. It's a purple line. Well, it's at the very bottom of the lower danger zone, so it has a much better chance to go up than down. Well, what is the mean that it would bust through? 394 is the current mean, 395. I like to make $1.30 on a 268 stock. That's just me. I love those profit margins. Nothing in the stock market is guaranteed, even these charts, but from what I've seen, mathematically, using good strategies, getting in stocks like this that, okay, what if it goes back down to, what was the 52-week low, 227? Okay, I could lose maybe 20% on this stock if I sold when it went back down, but I have a chance to make $1.30, which is 50% almost on this stock, and it could go higher. You have to always keep checking the charts to look of when to sell. So let's say it spikes up to 395. Well, is it time to get out? Yeah, you make great money. I say take at least some of it. I've gotten burned by being too greedy and wanting to go all the way up to 852, which mathematically is possible, but is very unlikely, but we see it happen. Well, you jump back to the short term. We can look at this stock live right now and take a look at what it's doing in real time. And it's fun to see these with big fluctuating stocks like BPTH. Let me jump in there and show you. This is a live view of what you can do with these great tools. The compass, the blue line is below the red. The black line is in the upper danger zone, so it has more room to fall than it does to grow. So we're going to see that kind of make some room. So it is in a downward trend. We've got a red arrow. So why would I buy at 1305 when I see it's in a downward trend? Well, I also want to look at, see, it's very fast. This could change gears and start going up. Well, let's look at a few other indicators. I'm going to make this a little bigger. This is the way I like to play it. Okay. On the long term, this is called the advanced band. It's way down here. It's a pretty big band. It's still green there. We're still green on the loop. Take a look. More people are buying currently than selling. It's not a massive amount, but okay. That's still a good, a plus on my instruments. Forecast is up above the line, pointing up. That's a good one. The level is above, and RSI is peeking through. So I would predict, based on those other filters, that it's going to start an uptrend right here. And it's 331, you know. But you can wait. You can wait until this compass goes completely above the red. That's what we really want. But right now, that's actually looking pretty great. I can take it another level up. I can look at the next band. This band follows its big brother. It doesn't like to go anywhere by itself. So let's see what the next band is looking like. I'm going to clean this up. Its orange bouncing line has room to grow. It is not out of room. It is not in the upper danger zone. So this doesn't tell me anything definitively. It's still good. The mean is pointing a little upward, which means this band is angling upward. It's a good level to be in there. Let's look at the next big brother. That's why I have these in this order. I like to go from big brother to big brother. Well, this band is also pointing upward for the mean, but its bouncing blue line has space to go. If you go back a little bit, you'll see that it ran out of space, and it could have made more room, but it was more than likely, mathematically, a better chance to go down, and it did. It made some room, and it crossed back up. So that's just what it is. It's all about your percentages and your numbers, using math to say, well, this is not guaranteed, but I believe, and somebody can correct me that knows about the system, the algorithms are about 93% accurate now from the testing across all the market for the last couple of years. And I'll take 93% accuracy any day, combined with my team, combined with my alerts. You can set up alerts in TradingView, say get in, get out. I have bots now. When you sign up, you actually get your own Slack channel. You can name it anything, Room Pate. My last name's Pate. And I can make a list right here, list. These are some stocks that my team is currently watching. As you can see, there's a lot spreading out through the $1 to $5 range, penny stocks, and up. LJPC is 7 something now, or they were. We all got in about 5.10, and they spiked up to high 7, so that's nice. NVAX, our team originally got in 98 cents, sold up in the $2 range. It has been crashing back down. We're waiting for another turnaround, so we're trying to make our second flip. It's gone a little lower than we want now, but we are playing it longer term. We've got all kinds. You might see some that you have in here, but this is what's so beautiful. You can add stocks, and then the robot works for you. It says buying bearish breaker. It's about to start going down on that chart, 15-minute. Here's a buying opportunity. Here's where to sell at mathematically. Yeah, you can maybe get up to 905 if things keep going well, but mathematically it's a lot better chance to get to the $8.30. But I like to use these bots just to tell me, hey, take a look at this. Here's what I'm seeing. I'll go into that chart. I'll go to ACB and pull it up right now. I'll go to ACB. I'll pull up that 15-minute chart, and I'll see if I like or don't like this stock. So this was actually pretty recent. This is not one that I'm currently in. Someone on my team, they're allowed to use my room. I love having people in here and helping each other. What's really nice is if you have a whole community of people investing in the same things you're investing in, you're not just going to get a text message or an email alert. These people become your friends, your family. You're winning together. So they're going to call you if they know that you're like 80% invested in a stock. When RGSE hits, our whole room is going to be sending out the bat signal. So it's pretty exciting stuff to not be out there in this sink or swim void by yourself. We have many channels. You can have your own room. You can join other people's rooms. We have a pick of the day that comes through. There's a daily podcast on the Apple App Store. I'll get that to everybody tomorrow about the exact way to look it up. You probably can just search for Arbitrage. Josh, he gives out a state of the bands. He tells us kind of what's going on with the big news. Maybe there's a trade thing going on with China and Trump. Who knows? But it could be affecting the market. And then he talks about the daily pick. On Thursdays, we do a 3 for Thursday. I love it. I believe there's Friday. Here it is. We do a investing stock, a long-term stock, a swing trade stock, swing pick, and we do penny stocks. We know that there's investors at every different level, and we are not shying away from that. We don't force anybody you have to play the way I play. You have to do what's comfortable to you and what makes sense to you, your budget, your portfolio, because at the end of the day, you're putting your money on the line. All we're trying to do is help everybody here make informed decisions using math and each other. It's just that community, and I love it. Now, I did want to share today very cool stuff. There's so many features that are coming out with our tool set that I don't even know about. And so one of our team members brought up to me yesterday, Adam, thank you, that you can actually set up notifications inside of Slack. You go to your arbitrage up here at the top, you hit preferences, and down here you can put keywords. And you can put every stock that you're interested in right now more than anything. So let's say RGSE. Well, yeah, there's a lot of channels and groups, and people can chat me, and we can talk about anything and everything, comic books, stocks, you name it. But what if somebody starts talking about a stock that I'm interested in? Furious, if you want to give it a test, I am currently looking at Room Pate. Well, what if in the Pay Traders chat, Furious starts talking about RGSE? Let's see what happens. And this is without, I can set up all kinds of alerts, but see this one that popped up? That means that somebody is talking about one of my keywords in that channel, so I can click on it. Boom. He just wrote RGSE, but he could have been saying, here's the new news on RGSE. Everybody get in, everybody get out, right? It's that simple to have a community and to have all of these alerts set up. There's honestly more things to do than you have time to usually do it. So you just pick what you like and what helps you. Furious, if you will, send just a normal chat in Pay Traders without RGSE. It should turn white just to let me know that there's new text there, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're talking about one of my picks. There we go. It's white. Maybe I want to check it out. There you go. This was a test. But we are sharing things together. We're sharing, this is the simulcast, actually, everybody from yesterday. I'll paste it to you for anybody who wants to watch yesterday, and you can see that we were truthful. We're not blowing smoke about BPTH and saying we talked about it. It's right there, broadcast timestamp at the bottom. We have a mutual funds group that we're starting to make. We are investing at every different level. People are doing puts, calls, options. So whatever you even just want advice about, it's worth its weight in gold, because you can search the internet, you can learn a lot on your own, or you can have people that are doing this with their own money every day, and you can ask them, well, what have you learned over the last couple of years of doing this? What were the pitfalls? I would like to learn from your mistakes and be a wise person and not make the same ones myself. Sometimes you learn better that way when you lose, but I'd rather not lose. I'd rather make it and just know that it works. So does anybody have any stocks in particular they wanted to look at? Please definitely call them out in the chat. If not, I'm going to kind of go through these picks a little quicker because I don't want us to run out of time, and I want everybody to know. IMGN on the 5-minute chart, which is a 10 to 30-day trading day play. We're going to pull it up, go a little faster, but I just want you to, if you're writing these down, the 5-minute chart, I'm putting all the bands on. It is coiling. This is what we call like a snake. It coils up, and then it strikes. Let me show you a regular other just chart that's not coiling. I'll click on BRS. Do you see this? Do you see how all the stocks are spread out? I'll click on IPCI. Just showing you the difference. See all of these different colors mashed and mushed and they're spread. Yes, we can dive into those and see which way the stock's going. That's great. But what we're looking for is this perfect setup. And IMGN on the 5-minute chart is pretty much there. We got a green arrow. We've got a green flag. All of these are scrunched up into each other, and usually, from what we've seen, I've seen it 9 out of 10 times as my average, that when it strikes, it hits right around the mean, which is currently 395. So I am in IMGN. I'm about half position right now. I'm probably going to take some more in a minute after this simulcast. I like the odds, and I like the percentages on this stock. I liked it even better when it was 252, when we started seeing the setup. That's when our team, Room Pate, I chatted to everybody right here. IMGN. I'll prove it. I listed it, so it showed up there. IMGN pre-market 267. There we go. It was Friday's pick on the simulcast at 252. We can even go back to IMGN at 252, grabbing IMGN. And, you know, the team will talk about it. What do you think the exit is? And that's how we find a rough exit right there. So for anybody watching, I personally like IMGN on the 5-minute chart, which is, it could happen sooner, but it's usually 10 to 30 trading days on this. How do we get that? We have great tools and systems. We don't leave anybody hanging. I went and said, well, we're looking at the 5-minute chart. We're looking at the biggest apocalypse band, and that takes 2 to 6 days. Well, I'm doing 5 minutes. I just multiplied it by 5, 10 to 30. So I'm fine with waiting 10 to 30 trading days, which is at most about a month and a half to see some of that kind of action. And that's a big percentage. So that's one. I want to move on down to a longer term. We kind of went over it at the beginning. IPCI. It's currently 25 cents. On the lower term charts, you see it's all spread out. It's not all beautifully set up yet. But this stock, I've seen it fluctuate. Look at this. It stays about 32 cents. It fluctuates up to 34. I've seen it go to 37. It goes back down to the 26 range, 22. And so it's just this little beautiful, we'll go to the 1 month. It's lower than it's been in a while. 6 months, it's way down. It has a very good chance on the longer term. Now, this stock is under $1. I'm going to show you some cool tools that go with this. But if this does survive, go to the 2-hour chart. And this is 6 to 12 months. This is a longer play than I normally like to play, but it is coiled up. Look at that. It's been coiled up like a snake, and it is all stuck here in the lower danger zone, and if it strikes, we're looking at about $1.64. Now, I don't know about you, but that is 4 times, 6 times, a little over 6 times, I guess 600%, if that's the way it works out, your money in the next 6 to 12 months. Now, being a penny stock, being under $1, I'm not going to put thousands and thousands and put a big percentage of my portfolio, but I will take about a 25% quarter position in this because there's so much margin to be made. So if you find a lot of stocks like this and you do 5 of them, well, even if only 3 of them make their gains and the other ones, 2 of them delist and 1 of them just kind of stays where it is, you've made so much more profit using a good strategy, spreading your money out, and picking things with a good margin percent. So I do like this for longer term. One of the other things that Arbitrage has as its tools, its almost never-ending tools, is we have an SEC compliance indicator. I can pop IPCI in here and see how many days it's been under $1. 98 days. For those of you that don't know, when a stock is underneath $1, there's a lot of rules about volume and everything too, but they need to get back up. They have 180 days to get back into compliance, or they can get an extension, which happens sometimes, I think up to 230 days. But when you see a stock that's out of compliance for 0 to 30 days, it's usually a lot more attractive. It's a hot stock in the sense that it wants to get back above $1. They've been above $1. The traders, the company do, and now we still have to apply the charts. Not every stock that goes under $1 has to go back up. We all know that. But the fact that it is not at that 150 to 180 day range makes me feel better. I could do some more research, FinViz News, but I can just quickly type in that and say, okay, well, I can go ahead and throw in a small position now. And if they do spike up in the meantime, even if it's the short term, look at this. What if they go up what they've been doing 5 days ago, a few days, and they're back to 33? Every 2.5 cents is 10% on your money. Let me take a look at it on the short term. In case anybody's thinking about grabbing some now, I'm going to go to the 1-minute chart on our smallest band. And like I said, everybody, we have training videos on this. It's not just me. I can go and talk about bands for hours, but it's much nicer to watch lessons and videos that break down each one of. There's one just on the compass. There's one just on. I'll actually give you just a quick show. We're not going to watch the videos right now, but I do want to show you what some of these items look like. You've got how deviations work. Minute 33. You could take 20 minutes of your day and watch this first set or less of videos and understand about some filters, about the danger zones, and just in case I missed anything. You can, lesson 2 is more strategies. Lesson 3 is more of these advanced tools and indicators that I've shown you underneath. Pause it. The level pro, the tick, how they work. And we're adding more and more of these constantly. You're going to see lesson 4, lesson 5. But we train each other. We talk about it. We talk to the developers. There's some extremely smart people that have been trading for 10 plus years in every kind of sector and market, and they care about our money like it's theirs. So they don't want to give bad advice, and so they let math do the talking for them. So right now, this is still going down. It shows the blue compass is below the red and below the RSI, so we're on a downtrend. The last candle was a big blue candle. I didn't really get into that, but yellow candles mean that for that timeline, 1 minute, the stock went up. If it's white, it stayed about average, the value that it started at. And if it's blue, it's going down. I can look at my other indicators. My big breaker is still red on the long-term chart. Okay. The loop is good. More people are buying right now than selling, so that does make me feel good. The forecast is above its level. Got some little green histograms, but it is pointing down. You can even see it had its own deviation. You could have sold here and been a safe sell. You could have sold here. The forecast, I'm not going to get too deep into, but its main goal is to make you the best profit. So it wanted you to sell when it went above the line here. So if you had sold at 25, and it's at, these are micro pennies, so it's kind of hard to get into. It's really easy to see on Apple and dollar stocks, but it does work. You can get in there. But the level's low, compass is below. I would let this drop a little more. Looking at just this one band, I can look at one stock for 30 minutes straight. Got a little support on a later band. This is called the intermediate band. It is literally the middle band, intermediate. Its blue bouncing line is in the lower danger zone. Now, that means it has a better chance to go up than down. So we have a little support here. But what is to keep this band from dropping and growing and being wider and pointing down? Well, you can see it did it. So there is nothing except looking at the angle. This is down, which is good for us if we're in it. But it is not a very steep down. I'm going to find one that was a steep down for you to really show you the difference. I bet you BPTH has it in here. BRS. Thank you, Furious. There's so many stocks. I've got some good examples of coiling and different things, but you just see it all the time. I don't know if you have a specific day, but here is on the Arbitrage. It doesn't really matter what band it is, but do you see where this angle was a little steeper? Do you have a specific time, Furious? Because there's some that are so steep that it's just beautiful to watch, and that's when we pick and buy in. We originally got into BRS at $1.10. Our team sold about $1.80. Very nice profit, 70-something%. And then we got back in at $1.12, sold at $1.24. And now we're looking for another entry to flip this the third time. We'll take a look. See, that's kind of a shallow. It's still there, but it made its way out. So you don't want to see things that you want to see. Oh, here we go. Thank you. It's very easy to try and read, no matter what system you're using, what tools, and see things you want to see out of a stock. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Well, we're going to use the go-to button down here at the bottom. We're going to go to January 29th. This is just a good example. It happens all the time, but I don't want to waste your time today looking. So here we go. January 29th. And Furious, is this on the 1-minute chart? And what band were you looking at? Okay, we're on the daily chart. Let's go to that. Here we go. And not really sure which one. You know what, everybody? I want to give you a good example, and I may be messing up what Furious wants here. But we can go into a stock like BPTH, look at one of these big gains. Here we go. We had a good gain right here. And we want to look at, are any of these bands giving us support? I may actually do a little research on this for everybody later. Oh, here we go. God. You know, there are some beautiful setups that I see and I tell my team about. So this is not a beautiful setup yet. It's not on the lower danger zone, but sometimes they are coming at such a downward angle that they like touch and they have to just bounce off, ricochet. And if you can buy at that touch and get the ricochet out, it's almost like easy money. So I don't want to get too bogged down with that one thing. I do want to get some other picks for everybody. We got the IMGN on the 10 to 30 day, the IPCI on the 6 to 12 months. If they survive it, which we want to keep a close eye on, but I'm taking at least a small position on them because the margin is so good. And that's what my team is about. We're talking about it. We're looking at these SEC compliance. If we see it get to 10 days out of compliance, well, they might reverse split. They might delist. So we might pull out and wait and see what happens. There's nothing wrong with doing that and using the information wisely. Oh, one of the other beautiful things is, well, maybe you want to find a stock on your own. Maybe you don't want to look at FinViz and see what's falling or what's rising. You don't care about our daily picks particularly. Well, you can actually search the entire market on this compliance scan and say, those lower danger zones, well, I want it to be yes. I want it to be in the lower danger zone on the giant apocalypse band. It takes longer to get up, but it's much more stable. Well, let's go to the advanced band at the same time and the intermediate, that middle purple band. Well, we have 5 stocks right now across the entire stock market that is meeting those requirements, that is in the lower danger zone, 3 of its largest bands. and we could go in and apply the charts. These might be very good long-term picks. Now, I don't just look at this and buy the stock. I do go into my charts and take a look. I look at my indicators. I talk to the team, and I want to know what the margins are. Well, what if this dollar stock, what if it goes up to $8? That's great. But what if it goes up to $1.08? That's 8%. But what if there's a chance to drop 20? It's all about that risk to reward, and that's what I like to talk about in these simulcasts. If you have a particular stock that you're really interested in and you're not sure about it, what's the risk to reward? That's what we talk about. I have a lot of people that go, well, I think this stock can do this, and the charts even show me, and I go, true. It does look like it's going to go up 15%, which is great. But there's this other stock that looks like it's going to go up 40%. Where are you going to put your money? Right? Let's lick our money. Let's work smarter, not harder. We like to say a little fun phrase, teamwork is dream work. So, you know, that's our teamwork makes the dream work. We all have dreams we want to reach. We all have, we've got a lot of people that are excited about RGSE when it goes. So just if you're interested in this, tomorrow is free as well, and so is Friday. Tell friends about it. I'm structuring the show a little more as we find out what people like. I want to show off all the great tools that Arbitrage has, because if you don't have it, we'd love to get you signed up. But even if there's a couple picks we can help you with, there are some strategy questions, I'd love to do it. Starting next week, this will not be free anymore, so flood the room. Tell everybody about it tomorrow. We can talk about literally anything that you want to, answer questions about particular stocks. I could go into one of these filters all day and find us beautiful picks. I could look at our winners report, which does the filters for us. I'll give you a quick glance for the last couple of minutes. Here's penny lane. Here's some penny stocks that are of interest right now based on different filters. We call it penny lane. And it gives you a little information. But I like to just take these, throw them right into TradingView. For those of you that don't use TradingView, it's currently just the platform. This is what we're using to look at these stocks, to apply our filters and our great indicators. Well, in the future, for those of you that don't know, in the next 1 to 2 months, we will not have to use TradingView anymore because it is a big expense. Rachel, who's in the room, I know you have to make that decision in the next day or so. I will talk to you about it after, but I would not recommend doing what I did with getting the full 2 years of TradingView right now. Maybe just do a single 1 month, because it could be at the end of this month that all of this, all the indicators that we use in Arbitrage are built into the website, so you don't have to. That saves you that $20, $30 a month. And we're all about saving money on all the tools. You also don't have to pay, like I do, $2 a month for every kind of market that you want real-time updates on. It definitely gets nickeled and dimed on TradingView. I really love the site. I love the layouts with my alerts. I couldn't have traded without TradingView in these filters, but one of the things that Arbitrage is doing is trying to save us some money. They're trying to get all of our features in one pane of glass, because at the end of the day, there's a million tools out there. There's a million different formulas and brands. But if you can find something that gives you green and red, get in, get out, if you can find something that gives you your alerts, you can even set up SMS alerts right in here. You can refer people. Anyone you refer, you get 30% of their monthly sign-up. So you can have your sign-up covered. You can even make money just by referring people to the great tools. You can pick your provider. I took mine out so you wouldn't have my number. But, yes, you can get alerts. You get RSS feeds. You can have stocks picked for you with reports. You can look at sector-by-sector reports. I mean, the amount of tools and the pace that this is growing, you will be able to do any kind of trading, and are able to do any kind of trading that you want using just, I call it this magic. But it's all about the community, the Slack community, the constant bots watching your things. We have people that are just in cryptocurrencies, Ethereum. They are Bitcoin people. They are watching some of these charts. When you sign up, you get to pick if your bots are on the 15-minute alerts, like a swing trader like I am, or a 1-minute alert. Maybe you're a day trader. Maybe you like to get in and get out and flip that crypto or flip whatever. Very customizable. I've never seen anything like it. There might be other places doing stuff like this, but the level of community, the level of customization, and where this is now in a few months is expanding so rapidly. I don't even think there will be the plans there are now as cheap as they are in a year. The amount of value that gets added to this, and the easy level, that big easy button we've seen on TV, it's crazy. So it's easy for me to sell something I like and believe in because I've been using it, and it has changed the way I trade. And I love helping people. I love teaching and going through stocks. So we can, I appreciate everybody being here today. Let me see if there's any other really good picks. I'm sorry. AFH on the 2 minute. That's a much shorter term stock for everybody. Show you a quick look. Okay. For those of you who've been watching, see that purple pulse line? It's been falling into the lower danger zone. It is running out of room, and it is basically almost completely out of room. It's risen up just a little bit, but it's still in the lower danger zone. But what's beautiful, let me turn on all my bands. You can't even really see them. They're so stacked on top of each other. We'll go back. You see, they were coming down. They have coiled up into what I call this little magic coil. And 516 is the mean right now. I am at a full 75% entry on this right now. I might actually be at 100%. I'll have to go check the portfolio, but I am feeling good about this. The 2 minute chart is on the Apocalypse is 4 to 12 days, trading days. Let's keep that in mind, 4 to 12 trading days. But I'm fine with something that could pop this week, and it could pop in the next 3 weeks for that amount of profit. So I am personally recommending, or at least telling you this is what I'm in. Make your own decisions. You can use your current trading ways, but I really like AFH, the way it's set up. Look at the low. 52-week range is 261. So, whether they hit their floor or not, that's pretty low in my mind of risk to reward, the amount of profit that could be there. You look at the volume. We like to trade in stocks that are over 400,000 shares a day traded, average volume, because you're at least going to get your sells and buys met pretty quickly. When you're doing a low float or a small cap stock that has 10,000 shares traded and you buy 1,000, you're 1/10 of that stock's trades for the day. You may not be able to fill it all, even if it goes up, and those fluctuations are much more drastic in a good and bad way. So rule of thumb, you can play it any way you want. I've played those and made some good money. UXM was great, PHII, very low float, thank you Furious, but good stocks. But to be safer, the more volume, the easier you are to get lost in the crowd, and you're just using the math to tell you when to get in and get out. But this is one that I like a lot. And now we've got GNMX that Furious brought up at the beginning on the hour chart. It is a penny stock. When you have penny stocks and you're looking at the hour, 2 hour, you do have to check that SEC compliance. You do want to be up to date with the team. But let's look at it on the hour. Beautiful coiling. Just started, finished the coiling. Looks to be at the very bottom of the lower danger zone and has a chance to go up to the mean if it coils and strikes. 66 cents. That's over 300% profit from where it's at. And that is we're on the Apocalypse band. We're looking at that purple line. We're looking at it on the hour chart right here, 3 to 6 trading months. So yeah, that's a while to wait, so I'm not going to tie up all my money. I'm also not going to tie it all up in a penny stock. But to get a 300% margin, I'll throw a couple $100 in there for sure. Maybe, depending on your portfolio size, you go by percentages. But I definitely like the way this is setting up, so I appreciate it, Furious. GNMX. I'm going to, no reason not to, throw that in our SEC. Get the timeline of compliance days. Here we go. GNMX. 49 days. Even lower than IPCI that we looked at before. And you know what, guys? If you get into this system and you're not really sure right away, we have tons of lessons and trading views. You can watch for free for the next couple of days as well. And I like to paper trade. If I'm not sure or if I'm getting used to a new tool, no matter what it is, why not just get an Excel spreadsheet, a piece of notepad, whatever, and type out, okay, I see this, and there's a green arrow. What if I got in here? What if I got out in here? What if I bought 500 shares of whatever? Be realistic, though. I recommend don't say, well, what if I put my house on the line? Be realistic to what you would have actually made, what you would have actually risked, and that is the best way to learn how to do something, is to practice. And they say practice makes perfect. My coach used to say perfect practice makes perfect. But Furious, thank you for such a great pick. I'm going to take a low entry on this now. and keep an eye on it. I think those were the big ones for now. We've got some fluctuations. We've got a whole team looking at 30 different stocks just for my room alone. If you're interested in more in this, please come in tomorrow. You can have some stocks ready to talk about. Tell your friends. I hate for anyone to miss out on this freeness. If we get more than 50 people trying to join in tomorrow, we may even expand our Join Me to allow 250 people. I want a lot of people to know that we have a tool system that is lowering that learning curve of trading in the stock market, reducing your risk by using math, and you just have a community of people that don't want you to lose, and it's nice to be backed by a community. Thank you so much for your time today, everybody. I hope you have a great one. I am going to post in the room. If you have any questions afterwards, I'm going to stop the recording, but ask me any questions. I can focus on things tomorrow. Any feedback, positive or negative, I like constructive criticism, but I will also be posting the YouTube video from yesterday. I will record this and publish it tonight as well, so you can go back and watch it. You can show it with friends, talk about it, and great to hear from you. Have a great afternoon.